So we covered this last week, but I wanted to just cover a different part of it when Breaking Points had on RFK Jr. and Krystal did a really hacky job of interviewing him about vaccines. She made these broad smears against him and didn't give him a chance to respond. And when he did start to respond, she said, I don't want to get bogged down, which is a real cowardly thing to do. Her own audience got by 80% disliked the video. So that she got ratioed by her own audience, and they said things like this: Krystal is arguing by parroting info that she has bias towards, yet won't let RFK state his side. Lost more respect for her today. That's my 100% my opinion as well. Krystal is not open-minded. She just wants to say her piece with no feedback, and she cannot defend them scientifically. One more I'll read you. I loved this right up until Krystal steamrolled him over and over, saying she didn't want to debate the topic that she just brought up to debate. Then she cut him off over and over and asking him to answer questions. So brutal. You're supposed to be gathering and publishing his opinion. So I told you I was going to talk to you about her conflicts of interest, right? So she has a conflict of interest because she's good friends with a presidential candidate, Marianne Williamson. She's running in the Democratic Party against RFK Jr., and she officiated at her most recent wedding. She got married to Kyle Kulinski, and Marianne Williamson officiated the wedding. Now, I don't care. I didn't mention it on this show. I don't care. But you know who does care? Her co-host, Saager, said this about someone else having a similar conflict of interest.
She's considered a massive star, an icon, yet beneath it was an open secret. As she was breaking big stories, she was good friends with the people that she covered that burst to the fore in the year 2000. Totenberg's wedding was literally presided over Justice Ruth Bader Ginsberg. Everyone thought it was weird, but her defenders said, hey, if you call that into question, your journalistic ethics, you're a sexist. Even then, it was a potent attack, so official Washington just moved on, at least until now. She's considered a massive...
So there she is talking about, he's talking about another journalist being friends with the people she covers. So again, apparently it was a problem then, but I guess it's not a problem now that Krystal's doing it. I didn't have a problem with it. They have a problem with it. So that's one conflict of interest that people are talking about. And by the way, she said it was a red line for her RFK Jr.'s views on vaccines. That meant that he's dead to her. She can't vote for him. But Marianne Williamson has very similar views on vaccines, right, and has said so. So why is it a red line for RFK Jr., but not for Marianne Williamson? And nobody gets to ask that question of her. And so those are conflicts of interest. So that's what a normal person would say. Well, it's a real conflict of interest that you're holding his feet to the fire, RFK Jr., but you don't do that to Marianne Williamson, someone who has almost the exact same position. So that's effed up. That's what the kids say, I think. That's effed up. That she would go after RFK Jr. on a topic that her chosen candidate, Marianne Williamson, and officiator of her wedding, holds also, but never brought it up to her. So that would be one. Now, she also, when she was running for Congress, she was pushing for charter schools, and she was also had stock in, well, here. So Kim Iverson talks about how she advocates for things that she makes money from. Like when she advocated for lockdown, she advocated for charter schools, she advocated for a lot of things, and she doesn't tell people that while she's advocating for lockdowns and everybody to get vaccinated because you can't go back until. So here's what Kim Iverson had to say about it.
January. So first she gets, sells penny stocks for a company that pushes online learning. Then her and her husband develop educational software for online distance learning. Then her ex-husband, I should say, but while still her husband.
So she was heavily into online distance learning, advocating for lockdowns. Okay.
During the pandemic, becomes founder and CEO of a company called Cognotion, which is a digital training program to give, interestingly, frontline healthcare workers a way to become educated during the pandemic.
So her husband was the head of this company that does this kind of online learning that would also benefit from lockdowns. That's the point Kim's making.
So in my mind, you should have to disclose that you are making money off of distance and education learning, that you have a history of this when you are pushing for children to not be in school. One of the most devastating, I would say, events, one of the most devastating policies that's happened to our society was lockdowns. More damage has been done to people because of lockdowns than I would think nearly anything that we've seen in our lifetimes. And she pushed for those and failed to disclose that she was making money off of distance education. That to me is a major conflict of interest. That to me maybe plays into the then push for, everybody needs to get vaccinated because we can't go back. We can't go back until everyone's vaccinated, knowing not everyone's going to be vaccinated. 30% of people are going to say, I'm not doing that. And so you could continue this narrative and you could continue saying, we've got a lockdown. We're not going back. Nope, it's not safe. Get vaccinated or else. We're all staying locked down. By the way, keep your kids out of school. And, here's some educational software I want to sell you. Conflict of interest that I think should be disclosed.
So there you go. She did a smear job on RFK Jr. She didn't have the facts on her side. And she's got massive conflicts of interest. And I just thought I should report on it. There you go. And yeah, okay, that's that. You make of it what you will. They did lose 4,000 subscribers, or they went backwards. So they normally add a couple of hundred or 1,000 subscribers a day. They went the other way. So her own crowd, again, this isn't Jimmy Dore picking on Krystal Ball. This is me reporting on what happened. And her own audience is the one making them pay the price. I don't know if you remember when her and Kyle lied about me, Kyle's audience turned on her. Turned on him, and he got ratioed on 2 videos back to back he did about me. And then it was ironically, his show was at the exact same point that Breaking Points is, right around 975,000 subscribers. And then Kyle's show went backwards for 2 years. It took him to get back to where he was. And so I wonder what's going to happen here. I wonder if this is that big of a thing. But it definitely has put a dent, and it's put a dent in her reputation, and rightfully so. It should. But a lot of nefarious stuff. And also, but some people have written to me saying, Jimmy, why do you say that Krystal Ball was a Russiagator? Because she was a huge Russiagator. That's why. Towards the end, she tried to pretend like she wasn't, and she started to say the right things. But she was a huge Russiagator, and I could show you the videos for that. That's not hard to find. So we have a new sponsor. It's for CBD oil. So they have all different kind of products, right? So the beauty of CBD, you get better sleep, you get less stress, you feel more calm, you get pain relief, you get better energy, you get better focus and concentration. So I only just started taking it. So I take it. There's an oil that I put under my tongue. It's a really interesting experience for that oil in my mouth. I kind of like it. It's really something. Have you been taking any of the CBD stuff? No,
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
How's it going?
I've been doing it, I think, for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and I like it.
Yeah,
and I actually think I would say today I'm feeling more energy.
Oh, no kidding. So I'll keep you up to date. So if you like that stuff, they have. I'm going to put some of it on my neck. See what that does, because they have creams and stuff like that. And it's the CBD Distillery is what it's called. They have over 2 million satisfied customers. 90% of customers report they sleep better after taking the CBD. 81% said it helps them with stress, and 80% said it helps with aches and pains after physical activity. So if they say if you have trouble sleeping, or if you're dealing with too much stress, you can use a little calm in your life, or if you suffer any pain or discomfort, especially after exercise, and if you're frustrated with a health concern that's not getting better, try CBD from the source I trust, cbdistillery.com. And you can get 20% off. You're going to get 20% off when you get your CBD stuff. So go to cbdistillery.com, enter my name, Jimmy, and you're going to get 20% off. Isn't that nice? The code is Jimmy. They have all kinds of stuff. They have creams, they have lotions, they have oils, they have lots of different stuff. And Steph says it's working for her. I like the oil. I'll let you know how much calmer and better and sleepering I get. So go to cbdistillery.com, use the promo code Jimmy. Check out my new stand-up special, COVID Lies Are Funny, at jimmydore.com. Only $10, become a premium member. We're going to be on tour in Northampton, Massachusetts, Syracuse, Cohost, New York, Hartford, Los Angeles, Bakersfield, California, Baltimore, Maryland, and San Francisco, California. Plus, did we say Chicago? There's lots of stuff. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. See you there.